Greetings, Legionnaires, and welcome to the return of the SmackDown recap with me, Nick the Geek, for SmackDown on the 7th/8th of April in 2023. First things first, much better show than Raw. I was at Raw Live. It was really disappointing. Vince's fingerprints were all over the show, and it was not a good attempt. SmackDown, on the other hand, a lot better. Thoroughly enjoyed the show. Thought 5 matches this week as opposed to 4, which was great. Triple H announcing the draft. But anyway, we'll get to that straight into the show. So we opened up with a 6-man tag between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. This was a cracking match. Really good 6-man tag. Good showcase for Ludwig Kaiser. Good showcase for Giovanni Vinci. Butch, Pete Dunne got a lot of good offense in. Thoroughly enjoyable match. Imperium won. Sorry, no, Imperium didn't win. The Brawling Brutes won. Sheamus won with a bro kick. Get myself confused there. Which I'm assuming means we're going to keep going with Gunther and Sheamus as time goes on, which I'm absolutely fine with. As long as Gunther keeps retaining that belt, I'm a happy boy. After this, we went on to a Cody Rhodes promo. Basically, it was just a flashback to everything that happened on Cody with Raw, challenging Roman to a rematch, Roman refusing, then going for the tag, and then Brock agreeing to be his partner, and then for no apparent reason, Brock Lesnar beating the living snot out of Cody Rhodes for a good 10 minutes at the end of Raw. We still don't know why he did it. I'm assuming we'll find out on Raw. This wasn't that bad. We then went backstage to a Kayla Braxton and Paul Heyman / Solo Sikoa segment, where she asked Paul Heyman if he knew why Brock had attacked Cody. Paul turned around and said, Why are you asking me? What we should be talking about is the Tribal Chief. What we should be talking about is the head of the table, the man who is approaching 1,000 days as WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. We should be talking about Roman Reigns. And then just as Kayla's about to ask about Roman Reigns, Jey Uso walks into the scene and says, has anybody seen Jimmy ready for tonight? And Paul tells him that the Tribal Chief told Jimmy to stay at home and watch you destroy Sami on television. And you tonight, Jey, are going to solve our Sami Zayn problem. Jey walks off, says to Solo, and if Jey doesn't handle his problem tonight, you handle our problems. Back to the notes. After that, we had our second match, which was Ricochet versus Ivar of Viking Raiders. This was quite short, but it was fun. Ricochet won with a beautiful shooting star press. Lots of flippiness from Ricochet, lots of power from Ivar. One point he did a crossbody to Ricochet when he was up against the ring apron. That was really good. Quite a short match, but it was good. It did what it needed to do, and Ricochet won, which is a good sign because it means Vince's fingerprints weren't all over SmackDown, because otherwise Ricochet would have been buried. After this, what did we have? Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens segment. Kevin was backstage, kind of just leering at the Tag Team Championship, staring at them. Sami walks in and goes, you just staring at the belts? And he's, no, I was leering at them. And Sami goes, it's fine, I was doing the same thing earlier on. This is amazing. And Kevin turns around and tells him, you got Jey tonight. You got to solve this. You got to finish this tonight. This is over. We've won the titles. We've done what we wanted to do. It's time to move on from the bloodline. And Sami says, yeah, but something feels off. I need to talk to Jey. Kevin tells him he knows that he won't be able to talk about this. He knows that he won't be able to change his mind, but tells him it's a really bad idea. Sami says he knows, but he's got to talk to him anyway. After this, what did we go to? We went to our third match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi. Yet again, short match. Did what it needed to do. It got Raquel and Liv over with them having their title shot on Monday against Becky and Lolita. Should be a fun match on Monday. This was a short, fun match. Liv won with the Oblivion. Not a good Oblivion either. It was a bit of a botch, but the match was what it was. Pardon me, the match was what it was. Not the best thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world. Quite short. Did what it needed to do. Moving on. After this match, we had an LA Knight and Xavier Woods promo backstage. This was great. LA Knight, who is my boy, walks in and basically says that, we're in LA, and yet this WrestleMania has had no LA Knight. Basically moans at Xavier Woods for playing games all the time. Xavier Woods turns around and says, maybe if you'd stop whining and start working, you'd have actually been on WrestleMania. Because if you worked as hard as you talked, then you might actually get what you wanted. And then he goes, but if you need a whooping again, I'm more than willing to give it you. LA Knight agrees, says this is fine, but you're not playing my hit any game. You're playing LA Knight's game. Yeah. And then snaps his PS5 controller in half, which I thought was quite harsh, but got the message across. That's set up for next week, LA Knight versus Xavier Woods. I was hoping it was going to be on tonight's show, but unfortunately, it's next week's show. So that's fine. After this, next page of notes, I went to a Triple H promo. Triple H comes out to the ring, huge ovation as per usual. This did not sound as Monday did, like Vince's words coming out of Triple H's mouth. This sounded like Triple H talking, which was always a pleasant thing. Triple H talks about how WrestleMania has broken all records this year, from attendance to merchandising to concessions to name a record, they beat it, which is always good. He then announces that in a few short weeks, we will be getting the new draft. I'm excited for this. It's been over 18 months since the last draft. The shows have been in desperate need of some shake-up. Hopefully this draft will do what it needs to be done for WWE and put the right people in the right places. Because at the moment, there's a lot of people on shows that should be on SmackDown. There's a lot of people on SmackDown that should be on Raw. We will see where it goes from here. I'm just glad the draft's coming around. Triple H then introduced Rhea. Rhea Ripley comes out with the rest of Judgment Day. Basically, he says, I'm the best. I beat the legendary Charlotte Flair. And now every woman in that locker room is going to learn to fear the Eradicator. Finn Balor then grabs a mic. Also has a microphone, starts a promo, starts talking about, I may have lost at WrestleMania and got 16 staples in my head, but who's here? Me. Where's Edge? Edge is nowhere to be seen. Dominic Mysterio then grabs a microphone, starts cutting a promo on his dad, yet again, starts saying how he took it easy on Ray at WrestleMania because he couldn't hurt his father. Ray had no problem doing the opposite. This is quite good. Dom has nuclear heat. Like, he couldn't get a word out for a good 2-3 minutes because the fans were just booing him, which is fantastic. It's great to see someone who's working at being a heel, being appreciated as a heel so much. Really enjoyed this segment. Damian Priest then got on the mic, apologizes to Bad Bunny, and says, I hope you can forgive me because I can forgive you for making me do what I did to you. Which is fine. Then Rey Mysterio's music hits. Rey comes out with the new LWO, the former Legado del Fantasma, for a match with himself and Santos Escobar versus Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest. This match was loads of fun. It got enough time. Lots of spots. Rey really got a showcase in this. Santos got to show out and show up. Dominic had some good spots as well. And Damian Priest eventually wins by just coming in the ring and hitting the South of Heaven on Santos Escobar. 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day win. After this, we went to a Raw promo for last week. For next week, for the tag match between Liv and Raquel versus Lita and Becky, as well as what's happening with Cody and so on and so forth. Just your standard Raw promo. After this, we went to our progressive match flow. It wasn't really a progressive match flow this week. This week, it was more of a highlight video for Shinsuke Nakamura. Because as of next week, thank God, Shinsuke Nakamura is returning to SmackDown. I have missed Shinsuke. He's one of my favorite performers. I'm really glad to see him back. After this, we went to our fifth match and main event of the evening, Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. But before the match happened, Sami went to see Jey backstage. Tells him yet again, look, there's a way out of this. You don't have to do this. Right? If I need to keep beating sense into you, then I'm going to keep beating sense into you. But you should know you can get out of this, Jey. You don't have to do all of this. Jey doesn't really respond. Sami goes off. Jey comes out for the match. Sami comes out for the match. The match goes on between Jey and Sami. Sami has control for the most of it. Sami hits a top rope exploder at one point, which is a phenomenal move, really well executed. Hits another exploder into the corner, goes for the Luba kick. Jey gets pulled out of the ring by Solo. Sami goes for another Luba kick later, gets knocked to the outside of the ring. Solo comes up, bangs Samoan Spike while the referee isn't looking. Jey comes in the ring, hits him with a drop kick, basically just a one-legged drop kick to the face and pins Sami Zayn. Solo then gets in the ring, starts to beat the living snot out of Sami. Jey stops him before he gives him the Samoan Spike. Nice little tease. Jey then super kicks Sami in the face. They then get a chair and continue to beat him down before SmackDown ends. And that was the show this week. quick recap. Also totally forgot before I forget that. Due to the fact that Solo Sikoa attacked Kevin Owens backstage and dumped an amble case on his leg, Kevin was not able to come and save Sammy. So who did? The original bro, Matt Riddle, made his return again, but to SmackDown this week. Came out, hit the final flash on Jimmy, hit a knee on Solo, saved Sammy, and I'm under the assumption, because Kevin is going to be injured, in inverted commas, from his attack this week, that we are going to get Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn versus the Solo and Jimmy, or Solo and Jay, next week. But yeah, that was the show. Okay, people, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back next week at an earlier time. I'm sorry it was late today, but I am very jet lagged from our trip to LA. I will be fine next week, and the show should be at around 2 p.m. UK time. So, thanks for tuning in. And remember, if you enjoy what we do here at Wrestle Legion, if you like the content we're putting out, please join the Legion. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, hit like, subscribe, do everything you can. It's a big help. It's really the only way the YouTube algorithm knows we exist. So, thank you very much. Love you all. And I'll see you next week.